Greetings, Saberites. Anonymous here. Follow up to the last camp check-in I gave you guys. We're talking about 3 P's: patience, practice, perseverance. That was shouting out mostly to the people who are just starting out, who are really new to this and are just kind of exploring this. So this is going to be kind of a continuation for that, because I get a lot of questions on those concepts. And probably the most common one is, what do you do when you get to the point that you are frustrated and you don't see any progress, and you're getting to the point where the novelty has worn off of everything, and now you're just left with doing drills and footwork and all that, and it's lost its luster for you. What do you do then? Some people will start going towards other things and adding that to their repertoire. Other people will switch gears into something that's completely fresh, right? And other people will just stop. This particular point in martial arts training is what I call the hump, and it happens with everybody. As the novelty of your new training starts to wear off, you are then just left with the work. And that, especially for people who are new to the martial arts and are new to this kind of disciplined way of going about things, can be very discouraging. Because all of a sudden they felt like they were moving forward, and then it's just a dead stop. They either plateau, they feel like they're not getting anywhere, and very commonly think they're regressing, right? Now there's a couple of reasons for that. If they have a teacher, a lot of times the teacher will see them as they progress, and we always know there's always a little bit of something that you can polish. So we start big and we work small, right? The idea is to point these things out, these little flaws in you, enough times so that you can start seeing them yourself, right? Now, as you get better, more and more of these things we can tell you as a teacher, because you'll understand them and you'll know what to look for them. So as you get better, you might get more criticism, not less. And that can be disconcerting for some people, right? Oftentimes, and this was true of my teachers, this is what I do a lot of times, the teacher will at a certain point say, okay, we're going to take you all the way back to the beginning, and we're going to do it all over again. And that can also be discouraging, right? But what can really happen, and if you allow that to go on, and you go back to the beginning and go through your stuff again, you're going to find new stuff that you never knew was there before, things that will help you bust through those plateaus. Right? So that's probably the first thing that I would recommend. If you're finding problems with your progress, and you're thinking you're not getting anywhere and you're just stagnant, strip it down. Go back to formula, literally in our system. Take it all the way back to your basics. Start teaching yourself like you were a person just walking in off the street, right? And then try to really look at yourself as a teacher would, finding those things and then encouraging yourself to practice the right maneuver, or to pay attention to that one particular thing. Another thing is to take a short little break. Layoffs are totally okay, right? A lot of times our brain needs a rest, our body needs a rest, it can't take anymore. You take about a week off, you come back to it, and you're fresh, and you're coming back again. Now that doesn't mean completely stopping altogether. What it means is you're not pushing yourself during that time. You're recovering. You're just getting in there and you're just doing stuff to stay fresh. The last idea that usually comes is often the hardest. And that's just to grit your teeth, bite on the belt, and power through it, right? You just keep going. You don't let yourself drop. When the little doubts come in, you just say, no, I'm not gonna let myself fall into that trap. I'm gonna push myself through it. Now, sometimes this is not possible, I understand. These are all little options, and of course, everybody has their own ideas. But the point is that when you get discouraged, when you hit those plateaus, when you hit those spots where you feel like you're backtracking, right? You think you're going down and not up, okay? You are still moving forward, okay? Think of it as moving along a horizon, and there's dips and valleys, right? As long as you keep moving forward, you are going to be going up and down. If you stay static, wherever you stop, that's where you're going to be. Okay? And if you're expecting that you keep moving, that's going to be very, very frustrating for you. So that's probably the last piece of advice. Once you get frustrated, don't let yourself stay there. Try to get yourself out of it any way you can. See a movie. If you're feeling down, see a comedy. Go try to distract your brain from the things that are getting you down, and then go back to the training when you're fresh. Okay? This doesn't always work. Again, like I said, there are 1,001 pieces of advice for this particular problem, but just as so all people out there know that are getting into this, that is something that will happen. It happens to everybody that I've ever met that's been in martial arts. At some point, you're going to hit the hump, and you got to get over it. All right. So, good luck with getting over that hump for all of you, though, who might be finding yourself there. For everybody else, have a great day. Happy Saber.